could look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus, he the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace, you know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, tone it down, I told them.
Yo, good morning. I'm Ryan, this is Jared. Welcome
and
to...
is the boat parade.
Welcome to the Saturday morning here at the boat parade. Starting a new segment here. Haven't quite decided on a name yet. If you guys think of anything, something Tampa related, something really cool, we're going to be doing this every Saturday morning, talking about sports, talking about Tampa, talking about some other stuff.
It's just like a more relaxed vibe of what we're going to be doing with this segment.
Say
That's
vibe
why I
again.
like vibe.
It's a more relaxed vibe with coffee with Jared and Ryan.
There you go. That's the intro. No, but it's gonna be a good time, and we'll still talk about sports, but then we'll just be kind of casual and talk back and forth until we're done.
Super casual. Like I'm wearing sweatpants, which I know you can't see that.
I thought it was a pajama set.
I think I was up here in my boxers one time, but I had on
Is
a
this
shirt. And
is this not a pajama set?
You sleep in that?
Not me. You.
Those are black jeans.
You.
This is not a pajama set.
It looks like pajamas.
These are nice Adidas joggers, and then this shirt was probably like $9 at TJ Maxx.
Your shirt and pants are the exact same color, like no difference in the heathered gray.
Are you colorblind?
I could be.
You're
but
literally colorblind. I would have her do a live action shot of this. All right, this is ridiculous. Anyway.
It's ridiculous that you think that that's not the same color.
You know what it was? It's like that dress back in, like, what was it, 2012, where everyone, like, committed almost murder and
The
suicide.
white and gold
The
and
white
the
and
blue
gold
and
and the
black.
blue and black dress. People literally were, like, losing their soul over that.
That
It
was like one of top 5. That's on the monument of top viral things that have happened
social
on the
media.
internet.
Yeah, that's right. That and then Gangnam Style.
With that, I could choose which color I wanted to see and then see that.
Yeah, but that's because you're a superhero.
I could be like,
only
oh,
saw
now I can see it black and blue.
It was
Oh,
white and gold. Everybody's
now
like,
I see
blue.
it gold and white.
It's blue and black. All I see is the freaking Lightning losing last night.
Before that, have you heard the whole thing about are there more wheels and doors in the world?
Wait a minute.
In the whole entire world,
It's too early for this.
are there more wheels or are there more doors? Every wheel and every door counts.
Okay. Let me think about this. So when I lived in the Middle East, many places don't have doors. They have doorways.
Is that a door, though?
No. A door is something you open to go
Okay.
into something.
But then, like, this cabinet has doors.
Yeah, but
Your
every
kitchen
car
doors.
has doors and there's wheels.
There's wheels, but then in every factory, there's wheels on
Yeah,
the
but
assembly line.
every coupe has
Think
4
about a
wheels
hotel.
but 2 doors.
But think about a hotel or, like, a big skyscraper. How many doors are in there?
Yeah, but how many
But
rolling
then
luggage
how many-
carts are there?
How many office chairs are in that building with wheels?
Right, there's no door in an office chair. You
It's
know what?
wild.
I'm going to go final answer.
I mean, it's not provable either way.
Do the millionaire's sound when I do this. I'm going to go final answer.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
They're 100% equal even to the number at all times.
I'm not going to even ask you why you think that.
You know what? But it's not provable, so I'm right.
I don't know if that's how it works.
The
Hey, that
thing
can't
is-
be proved, so
I'm right. That is a lot of movements going on right now.
I concur. All right, so it's Saturday,
It's
the
Saturday.
day after Game 2 of the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the New York Rangers in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Can't believe I had to stay up till like 11:30 to watch that freaking game.
You know, I'm glad that I stayed up until the end because the only good part of the game came like a minute into the game and then like the last 2 minutes of the game. And if I would have like stopped watching before the end of the game, which I kind of did mentally, I was like, all right, I'm not watching them do empty net because they're garbage when they go empty net most of the time. I started cleaning instead of watching the game.
I'm sitting there not being emotional at all because I just don't do that.
Yeah, whatever.
But I'm sitting there pouting, and he gets up. He's like, empty net. This is it. It's done. We're trashed. This is it. And he just starts going around the house cleaning stuff. And I am a hopeful Lightning fan. I don't want to give up. But
name one time all season that we haven't gone empty net, and immediately just turned the puck over, and then they scored a goal. You can't do it because that's all they've done.
Maybe like 2014-ish,
right,
But he starts cleaning, whatever. And then it's true. When we went 6-on-5, it's interesting. A point that I'd like to note is the only times we scored, we were at a one-man advantage.
We scored in the power play.
And we scored
Cooch,
6-on-5.
And then 6-on-5 with Nick Paul.
And my concern is that if you go back and watch the game, which I don't recommend anyone does because it was horrible, but if you do go back and let's say you're a Rangers fan and you go back, then yay. But
I did watch the highlights this morning and forced myself to watch it.
Brutal.
And I was sad.
No, it's terrible. But if you go back and you watch the game, what you'll see is the Rangers set up on in their offensive zone. They set up like they're on a power play when it was 5-on-5. Like they were getting great puck movement, great shots in the slot. I mean, everything. It looked like they were just riding on a power play the whole time, and we looked like we were suffering on a penalty kill the whole game. It was almost like if you added up the two best players on the ice for the Lightning at all times, they equaled one of the Rangers players.
It was like when the Rangers had the puck in the Lightning's defensive zone. What it looked like is that everybody was only just trying to block shots. And if they blocked a shot or missed a shot, at that point, everybody just froze and didn't even go after the puck. So then the Rangers can just over and over and over again pass and get shots on goal. And when you have that happen, eventually one's going to fall. The score probably should have been like 8-2.
Yeah.
But Vasi actually played incredibly good last night. Maybe not on that one high blocker side goal from Zibanejad, but everything else he did incredibly well. The defense, you have to move your feet. You can't just stop and then not go after the puck. And then on offense, you can't dump and chase, but not chase, and then just take a dump on the ice.
Well, and the Rangers did dump and chase for a lot of the game, but they chased, and then
But that was when they were up, and they were just like, hey, let's dump, waste some time, go down there. We're going to get the puck anyways because the Lightning aren't skating after the puck.
Right.
We can just get the puck in the zone and then now have a 2.5-minute possession in the Lightning zone.
Well, has there ever been such a staunch difference between the team that we saw in the last series and the team that we're seeing in this series? I mean, against the Panthers, we came out hungry. We played aggressive. I mean, we swept them. We held them to 3 goals the whole series, and then you open up to a 6-2 loss, and you come back to really a 3-1 loss. But I'm glad that we got the empty netter because that was a miracle as far as statistically. I mean, the odds of that were very low. And you got 9 goals allowed now by Vasilevsky in 2 games, which is 3 times as many that were in the entire series against the Panthers. And then Igor's not playing bad. I mean, Igor Shesterkin, it actually to me feels like Igor has taken on the Vasilevsky kind of type play. I mean, we had some great shot opportunities.
It's
in the
all
game last night.
It's all in the team that's around it because the Lightning were trying to get shots on goal last night, but the Rangers defensively just kept on getting their stick and then breaking it up right before they would shoot. So many plays where that would happen, where it wouldn't be counted as a block shot. They're just literally like stick lift right before you shoot whiff.
Well, how
or
many
like just
times?
Bang, hit the stick up out of play.
How many times did we lose the puck blue to blue?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Was against the Florida Panthers. The Panthers are phenomenal in transition, and the Lightning were phenomenal blue to blue defensively on forechecking and getting the puck back.
My daughter has an opinion about that. She was saying, "Go Bolts" in baby talk.
That's good translation.
She said "Bolts in 6" in baby talk. But she's full of faith. She's a committed fan. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? At that point,
you have to be like that. You can't just be like negative Nancy, like a lot of people are. Oh, we're down 2-0. Now it's over.
I wanted to say that there's so many people posting now. Granted, like I think the Rangers have some bragging room as far as these first 2 games because they really to go after a team that you lost to, you know, almost 10 years ago in the playoffs, and then they have the best goalie in the league, which we still believe he is, no matter what people say. And you have this goalie-to-goalie thing, and then they just smashed us 2 games in a row. I mean, they kind of have some bragging room, but I'm watching the way that even there's a lot of Lightning fans that are throwing the baby away with the bathwater. Like, this is it. This is over. We lost, you know, whatever.
I can't stand people like that.
No, because what the heck? there in NHL history, I believe the first time was 1984, but we'll have to someone fact check me on that. But there's people that have come down from 3-0, have come back from 3-0 to win a 7 series in hockey. So, and if any team could do that, it's a shut-down, strong defensive team like the Lightning, who all they need is a goal advantage to win.
All you need to do is decide that, hey, we're going to play hockey today and not just mosey around the ice and not move our feet. If you don't move your feet, you can't win. You have to get in front of the defender or in front of the guy on offense, or you have to skate to get to the goal. You can't on offense just get to the blue line and then make a terrible pass. And then they just get the puck right back and go back up the ice.
I
you
had
can't
a question.
dump and chase and not chase.
I had
Go
a
ahead.
question. This is a Saturday morning question because it's a little looking ahead. But if we lose against the Rangers, do you think the Lightning fan base will take a hit as far as game attendance and different things moving into next year? I mean, we're riding off of the third longest playoff victory streak in NHL history, and the fan base grew a lot over the last few years, especially now in this third run. The whole city is all about this three-peat. And I mean, coffee this morning at the Blind Tiger, the little thing, go Bolts on the coffee thing. I'm just wondering, if we lose, do you still have that strength in the fan base next year?
I think you do. I think that people have such a bandwagon tendency, but the people that are fans and are going to the game are people that like it, or the girls that are with the people that like it. That's true. That's who goes to the
stadium
hockey game.
is like 40% strong fans, 60% strong fans, girlfriends. That's
that
that's
math
hockey.
doesn't work unless you have multiple girlfriends. But
Well,
I'll
this
let
is
that
Tampa
ride.
Bay.
But no, there's always bandwagons. I remember when I genuinely really got into sports was when the Florida Gators were really good in both basketball and football in 2006, and they won in both sports. It was like them doing that and watching success happen. Like, I was 11.
Yeah.
So, like, it was, like, really the first time where, like, I was comprehending and watching and, like, taking fandom and being able to experience that. And that's, like, when I really came into sports. So success does create it. It adds that. Which, even though, like, I played my own sports, like every sport up until that point. I played baseball, basketball, football, soccer. I played hockey in my own driveway.
You didn't play lacrosse.
No, we didn't have lacrosse because we've talked about it. I'm from Polk County.
Polk County.
The only school that had lacrosse at that time was All Saints Academy.
It's actually called Poe County. They couldn't afford the L or the K.
I wouldn't say that. There's actually a lot of money.
There's
in
a
Polk
lot
County.
of money in Polk County. It's the second largest county in Florida.
By size, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
By population, no. But
There's a lot
size.
of great ranches in there too. I love Polk County. I love it. Reminds me more of home than Hillsborough, but I'm becoming kind of. I mean, Tampa's starting to. I don't know when the
to go back
threshold
to go back to what you said, because then what I was gonna say is I experienced the bandwagon fans of the Florida Gators of, oh, now we went back to back in basketball and we won 2 natties in 3 years in football, and so now everything's Florida Gators. Yeah. Then a few years later, then that's when Alabama came onto the scene in like 09 was really when they really started dominating. Yeah, he was like already there a little bit before that after he came back from coaching the Miami Dolphins, but that was like when they really took off. And since 2009, they really have been dominant. Then you see people that like used to have Florida stuff on, and now they have Alabama stuff on.
That irritates me.
That's wild. That's definitely irritating.
I think I'm okay with bandwagoners who jump on the bandwagon of their home city's team when they win,
right, and then stay,
or even
fine.
if you don't continue to be a radical fan when we're losing, but at least don't go put on a freaking Panthers jersey if the Panthers win. You know what I mean? Like,
right, like if then I saw next year people that I knew have talked to me about the Lightning, and then I see them like hardcore repping McDavid, and then like, oh yeah, he's the best or whatever. Well, we'll see what happens in that series first of all, because they're down 0-2. They play tonight.
It's funny because like when I think about the Oilers series, I think it's over. Like Colorado's dominated, whatever. But then we're also down 2-0, so it's I can't say that.
In the playoffs, you're really not in trouble until you lose at home, even if you don't have the advantage. I agree with you. So New York just won twice at home. Now we have 2 games at home. If we win twice at home, Now we have
because you're
it's
at
tied
least
up.
getting a game 7 if you can win.
If
all
you do
the
that now,
home
you're at
games.
least getting 7. Now you give yourself a chance because in a game 7, anything can happen. Which
Well,
with
yeah.
the Rangers is kind of makes me nervous because they are incredible in game 7s. Obviously, they went to game 7 in both of their first 2 series.
I don't think they're gonna do well with the advantage though. I think they're like the Lightning. If you watch their last series, they're a comeback, like get momentum late and comeback type team. I feel like
You're thinking they're gonna choke.
I'm thinking. Well, I think they're gonna choke to even the score. I think we'll win both these home games. It'll choke to even the score, and then you'll have But we'll see from there. We're excited to see what happens with the Lightning. I wanted to ask you a personal question. This came to my mind. This is separate from everything. I have personally lived in Tampa Bay. In July will be 5 years for me that I've lived in Tampa. I grew up traveling around the world and never really had a place to call home because I never stayed in one place very long. The longest I ever lived anywhere was 7 years, and that was West Virginia and Texas, both for 7 years. That's why I always flip-flop of where I'm from when people ask, because depends what's more relevant to the person a lot of times. Like if they're like, I'm from West Virginia, I'm like, oh, I'm from West Virginia. If they're like, I'm Texas, oh, I'm from Texas. But just because both those places have the same time zone. But I'm here creeping up on Tampa being the longest place that I've lived in my life here in a couple years. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, you grew up in maybe different houses, but you grew up in the same area pretty much your whole life.
I've lived within an hour of where I was born for my whole life.
So I wanted to ask your perspective because you don't have a lot of experience in this particular thing, but I'm interested to hear what you think. What is the timeline for when a place becomes home? Like when it starts to feel like home, where I could say Tampa's my city, or I'm from Tampa, or this is my thing. Because a lot of people would say, bro, you've only lived here 5 years. You can't be such a radical Lightning fan or whatever. You didn't grow up here. You didn't watch the Rays suck for freaking Kingdom Come. You didn't watch all this kind of stuff. You weren't there when Emily was built. These type of long-term fans. I'm not, and that's why I'm not against bandwagon fans. I think it's okay to get radical for your sports team when you wake up to the reality that they're good or whatever the case is. But I'm starting to feel like, especially around the sports industry, that Tampa's kind of my home. And I just want to know, what do you think about that?
I think as long as you have an understanding of the history and what took place, then it's okay, even early on. But don't jump in and be a bandwagon. Hey, I'm here for the potential three-peat, and that's it, and don't know what happened. Don't.
Right.
And then like people that are Bucks fans, that are Rays fans, and have been like either like from when you were born or just like you chose a long time ago. It's almost like we have gone through the same suffering together of the Bucks being so bad for so long. So then don't just come in and be like, oh, we're the best because we have Tom Brady. Like,
Yeah,
that
right.
person stinks that says that.
Yeah.
So no,
Those are all Patriots fans.
I encourage being a fan of where you live at. And I can't say, hey, how long does it take till this becomes home? I've lived in Tampa since 2015, so 7 years. But I was in Winter Haven, Florida, my whole life before that, except when I was at college playing football at UCF, which I would say Orlando's not my home. I don't like Orlando. If you live in Orlando, I'm sure you're great, but Orlando stinks.
All I think of Orlando, which is funny that Disney's not even in Orlando, but for me, we just drove to Orlando for a family funeral actually a couple weeks ago, and I was surprised at how far Disney is from Orlando. Like, you associate Disney with Orlando so much that then when you pass Disney and you're still 20-something minutes to drive into Orlando, or with traffic even half an hour, you're like, what in the world? This isn't even...
Well, you're on Disney property most of that time when you're
it's like,
going
let me
through
get out
there.
of this neighborhood, called Reedy Creek, and then I'll finally get somewhere out there.
No, but so I've been in Tampa for 7 years, but I was already a fan. I was born into fandom of the local teams. My dad he just liked all the local teams. So Bucks, Devil Rays at the time.
Solar Bears.
I don't know. I know he likes the Magic, so I like the Magic. The Magic are awful at basketball, and I really don't watch the NBA right now
But
because
we
it
have
stinks.
the lottery pick, don't we?
We have the lottery pick.
For next year.
I don't know who we is, but the Orlando Magic have the lottery pick.
Yeah, I gave up basketball after Kobe Bryant.
So I was just born into the teams that I liked and really never changed that. When I was in like 6th grade, maybe, I became like I liked the Florida Gators, but then I liked this one wide receiver that USC from California had, so I liked USC, and they were winning. They had Reggie Bush. That was in like 2004.
That's that bandwagon thing. I've been there, bro.
I did the bandwagon for one time.
See, because I grew up a Cowboys fan, so all I could do was bandwagon because 8-8 ain't good enough to get.
You like the
know what I mean?
Cowboys until when December, and then okay, we can't like the Cowboys anymore. Now we have to like the other team.
Right. It's like, who do I go for? And then you
But
just
I did
pick
that.
the closest. You know, the Saints one. You pick the closest Southern.
Yeah, I
team.
liked the Tampa Bay Devil Rays growing up, but they were going to be awful every year. So then I had to have a secondary team that I liked, which was the Mets, because they were in the NL instead of the AL, and they were blue and orange like the Florida Gators. That was my reasoning as a 7-year-old.
Yeah, I bet it's good enough.
And then in the NFL, I liked the Ravens because the Bucks were always going to be bad. So the Ravens were kind of good, and then you have Ray Lewis, who's from Lakeland, Florida. So let me like him, and he's awesome.
I'll tell you what, though, the Rays are not bad anymore.
No, they're not.
I mean, we watched a little bit of the game last night in the series that they're in, and against the White Sox.
Was
McClanahan,
locked down yesterday.
Nasty. Our best active pitcher right now.
They struggled a little bit to close it out because it was 6-2 in the top of the 9th, and they let a run happen, but he still got the save, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean.
Or is that a hold? I don't know. Save or hold? Somebody tell us if you know.
If you're a baseball theorist, rule guy, and you know the terminology, then tell us. But we don't talk a lot about the Rays yet, guys, and there's a reason for that, because when you're in the playoffs of one sport, I think that kind of takes priority. So while the Lightning are still chasing the three-peat, we're kind of focusing a lot on them.
And then when the Lightning are done, until football season starts, the only thing really is that. So the Rays. We could find something
even if
else,
we win the Stanley Cup, it'll be like 80 days of like Rays, and then the occasional like
training camp, OTAs for the Bucks.
What's happening for the Bucks?
Maybe some USF football. We'll get in there a little bit.
And there's cool stuff. We've been talking about around Tampa. I went to a wiener dog race. Yeah, so there's a lot of sporting events around Tampa. No, seriously. So we went downtown.
It was at Armature Works.
If you ask me top 5 experiences downtown in Tampa or something, I'll tell you wiener dog races are not one of those. But we had, I have a video. I'll see if I can put it.
Kaylin is asking us to put the video.
I'll see if I can put it
Ryan,
right.
Don't forget.
Ready? Right now. And
there it is. You see him running around there.
You see those weenies running around.
They're short little legs.
Weenie legs. Weenie people.
Everybody's yelling at them. They have no idea where they're going. It's wild.
Did you see the video?
I watched it. Yeah.
It was wild. But
I was actually with my family when you posted it, so I was like, "Mom, look at this. You're gonna laugh."
Bro, it was so funny. I've always laughed. I just think it's hilarious. But Tampa's such a fun city. So over the summer, we're gonna have a lot to do. We're actually starting a new segment that you'll see here in a couple weeks. We're gonna be reviewing Cubans, not cigars, Cuban sandwiches, which are a part of lifestyle here, Ybor City, and the Cuban community.
It's a Tampa thing.
Also, it is a Tampa. It is a very Tampa thing.
There's an author. He works at USF in like the private collections department, and he's written books before about specifically Tampa things. He has one called Saloons to Steakhouses, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But there's a book coming out. I believe when I talked to him, maybe in March was the last time that I had a conversation with him at the fish fry that we did that one day at Lowry Park.
Yo, fish fry.
And he said that it was going to be, I think later this year, he's already written it. It's in publishing, but it's a book about the real history of the Cuban sandwich.
See, that we will definitely read.
I've been wanting to do for a long time, read the cover, a long time, reviewing and finding the best Cubans in Tampa, because like they have the Cuban Festival, which they've done for 11 years now that we went to recently. You guys will see that soon. We're working on editing that. And they have
we?
We have I have input on the creative liberty.
In case you guys haven't caught some of those comments, we would laugh about the word "we" because all the time sports people, like, they're sitting at a bar,
Ryan.
like me, and like the Rangers will win, and they'll be like, "Man, we just won," and then you're like, "Who is we? You were sitting on a bar stool." So
right,
it's
Tom
just
Brady
funny.
was out there playing football. He won.
Right. But I'm like an identified, because I have this theory that the fans pay for the tickets, which pays for the stadium, which pays for this, which pays the
It's not how it
players.
works, but
okay,
okay.
whatever. The point is, fans make the sport. There's no money in sports if it's not for the fans. And so, other than maybe some laundering, but we'll leave that alone. But
They are the consumer of the product that's provided on TV,
that's
which
right.
provides most of the money for everything.
Exactly. And so the same way that a shareholder could say we as they have a share of a company, if you're a large contributor, you've paid for a lot of things that are sports related that go some way to contributing factors.
If you own stock in Tesla, do you own Tesla?
You own a portion of Tesla. That's literally
So
how
you say
that
we
works.
in our board meeting last night at Tesla.
Not necessarily about details of leadership. Like, I wouldn't say we and then talk about Stu Sternberg. Like, there would be no we in Stu and I.
That's my
I mean?
line of it being okay, where it's like we. If you are
We the team,
If
not
you
we
are-
the.
a female athletic trainer where your only job is to pass out water bottles on the sideline of a game, you're a part of that team.
It's a
you
we.
can say
That's right.
we.
That's right.
If you have never been involved with the team,
No, I don't know, because
you can't really say we.
If you're a fan that sat out there in negative 12 degrees to watch football and froze your freaking
Nobody
butt off and spent
even
thousands of
relate
dollars
to what
to
you're
fly to
saying.
that, what are you talking about?
Not a single person. Can
any
relate to that.
Packers fan can relate to that.
Are we talking to Packer fans?
No, I'm just you're right. In Tampa, it's pretty.
It's never even
it's
been
pretty
12,
easy.
let alone negative 12.
Listen, it's very easy to be a Tampa sports
We
fan.
complain about the heat. All right, whenever we're at the Packers game, September 25th
It's
this
96
year, at
degrees
4
outside.
o'clock, and it's probably
I'm talking about we.
94 kickoff.
If I almost had a heat stroke to watch you throw a football and I paid thousands of dollars to be at this freaking game, it's we.
Going to a Bucks game is one of the only times that I will wear sunscreen. I'll go to the beach, sunscreen not going on my body. Go to a Bucks game, I'm putting that joint on.
That's just because the Bucks are so hot, baby.
You're sitting in one place. The sun's going to be on one side of your body. It's going to be blazing hot. You're going to sweat. Lose at least 10 pounds. It's going to be awesome.
If you're giggling in the background, it's my wife who is holding my daughter, and she thinks the things that he doesn't think are funny. So then I'm always getting laughter. It makes me feel really great. But anyway, we have a part of what we're going to do on Saturday mornings is something we're about to go into, which is...
Dang, bro, I never even said about the Cubans. We never got to it.
That's a secret, though, because we're starting the Cuban reviews. Here's the deal: we're gonna go around Tampa.
We were talking about it.
We're gonna
We wanna
find the best Cuban sandwich,
yes.
and we're gonna rate them.
Not like the single best sandwich. We just want to give a rating
We're gonna
of
put them
what
on a
each
scale.
are, unbiased completely, and just find good Cuban sandwiches to tell you where to go. It's not like.
And you have both sides of a coin, because he's grown up eating a lot of Cubans. He's a Cuban guy. He loves Cubans. He's had a bunch of Cubans already. He's a Cuban guy. I never ate a Cuban in my entire life until recently. So I have, talk about non-bias. I don't even know where to get a Cuban. It's like, you go to the gas station. I don't know. You get a Cuban forever. So we're going to these places.
Wild.
And he knows all about Cubans and I don't even know what's in a Cuban. So me, it's just taste buds. I can rate based on the quality of the food, based on whether it's soaked in juices or dry like a dying
And we'll
animal.
go over that. We'll go over what's a Cuban, what's not a Cuban.
There will be a book about it here that we can read the cover in about a couple months from publishing. Love you, by the way.
Andy Hughes.
And so, but that's
Pre-order it if you want to on Amazon, I'm sure.
Please do, Andy. We love you. But here's the deal: we're going to go into something we are going to do on Saturday mornings. There's two things we're going to do this morning. We're going to start with our top 5. Now, this is a segment we're going to start doing where each of us are going to give each other a top 5 category, where based on personal experiences, we're going to give our top 5, and it's something to do with Tampa.
Not top 5
according to Forbes.
Factual.
No. This is me.
And it's on the spot. Like, Ryan has no idea what I'm giving him for him to get his gut reaction top 5. It's just, hey, what are your top 5 this in the Tampa Bay area?
Right.
Off the spot that you've experienced. Not, hey, I had a friend who went here, but that you've gone to.
Right. So I'm a little nervous, but this is our top 5 segment here at the boat parade. Go ahead, Jer.
All right, for your top 5.
Oh, why am I nervous? I should not be nervous.
I want to know what your top 5 date restaurants are.
Wow.
And you can think about it. It's okay.
Well, so it's interesting because one of
It
the
don't
ones
have to be in order, just your 5.
I almost did that for you. I was going to do date spots, though, which is a little different. Date restaurants.
Yes.
So my number 1 date restaurant in Tampa, Florida is going to be, well, because if trust me, when I say number one, she'll be like, what? It ain't Fresh Kitchen? Anyway. We love French Kitchen, but no. So
Hey, that's a great date spot if you're a college student.
all things included, it used to be a lot better. I think the quality's gone down, but my number one date spot's going to be Ulele on the Riverwalk down near Armature Works. And the reason I say that is when we first started going to that restaurant, the food was very good. This was before COVID, so there was no shortage of fat scallops, which I like. And we would go in the evening. So imagine you're sitting, you can see the skyline of Tampa Bay, you can see the water, boats are driving by. It's beautiful landscaping and astroturf and different things around. It's good seafood. The service is great. There's a lot of great appetizers.
I hope you guys can hear Josie in the background. I really do. It's awesome.
She's so cute. And it would be like 74 degrees with a breeze outside. And here we are watching the sunset, eating a meal. They have heaters out there for if it gets just below, that Tampa weather in December.
It's wild to me.
And, yeah, I mean, I need a heater.
74 degrees. We need
At
space
66 degrees, I need a heater. Thank you. But so that's going to be my number one. My number two is going to be Bar Taco in Hyde Park Village. And the reason I say that is it's another big atmosphere place. I love the way that Bar Taco functions. You order, you scan a QR code, you set your credit card up or whatever, and you order from your phone, a la carte everything, tacos, drinks, everything. You order it from your phone. They bring it to your table. You have like a table. You know how they call goalies net minders? It's gonna be like a table minder. They watch over your table, but they don't like annoy you like a traditional restaurant waitress or waiter. You order a la carte, and then when you're done, boom, boom.
You know what the
phone.
worst person is? The person that works at like a Macy's.
Oh yeah.
That when you walk in, hey sir, can I help you find what you're looking for? And it's
look,
I don't even know.
I came to the mall. This is so weird, but like I came to the mall to get away from people. Like I'm just trying to look at some dress jackets I'm not gonna buy. Like, can you leave me alone? They should know that at that point, But that's gonna be my number two. My number three date spot is gonna be brunch at Oxford Exchange. Oxford Exchange is great. They have a great coffee shop, tea shop in there, and the tea actually, the tea place and coffee, I believe they coordinate with the restaurant, so you can order really high quality tea and coffee.
Is it Tivana or is it? I can't remember what it is.
No, it's its own thing.
Okay.
And
not Buddy Brew.
No, Buddy Brew's the coffee shop, but is it Tivana? Okay, so Buddy Brew and Tivana, they work with the restaurant. The restaurant food's really good, but it's such a cute atmosphere. They have like an atrium area, and you can sit with a little waterfall and stuff.
That's my favorite place to sit. Is the atrium.
That's gonna be, and they have like a little shop in there.
If you go to Oxford Exchange and you don't take a picture on the stairs, did you really go to Oxford Exchange?
You have to pose. You have to pose too. It's like
like that.
I was at Oxford Exchange.
I was here.
That's gonna be my number three. Number four, this is kind of unique on the list, but I'm gonna give this number one because I support local restaurants, and this is a dynasty restaurant here in Tampa. But Burns Steakhouse is gonna be number four for me. When we went with some friends, it was not only a great experience. You get a tour of the restaurant. The food was on par for its price point. I'm not gonna say it's the best food in Tampa, but it's fine. It's a good steakhouse. The environment was one of the best dining experiences that I've had in the state of Florida.
The story, all that.
The story, and then up to the dessert room where there's this massive wine barrel and you're dining in your own seclusion, and it's super romantic, and you're there for like 2 hours and stuff like that.
I like that.
If it was closer to something you could walk afterward and go see something beautiful afterward, it would be my number one. But it's just
kind of is. So you could walk to the water. You could walk to
but what across
Point,
across the train tracks and then no, it's not really that kind of vibe. So that should be my number four.
But the hack is that you go to dinner somewhere else and then go to the dessert room.
Yeah. Well, there's actually not too far from there. What is it? Chicho. Chicho has a restaurant called Water and Flour. Which is virtually across the street.
Water, and now it's Water and Flour.
Water and Flour. It's really near there, and it's probably $40 for two to eat, and we love it. She had the shrimp pasta or whatever. It's a really good place. So you can do that for like $40, $50, and then go to the dessert room. Under $100 date night, and then go drive Bayshore and pretend you have $10 million to buy one of those houses.
I really like at Water and Flour, and they have it at Cali too. There's like a hot honey pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, hot honey's amazing.
So it's
I think our buddies got that when
it's
we
like
went.
the
it was
sweet
good.
heat with the pepperoni.
You'll
and
say
then the
sweet heat.
crust. Sweet heat
Sheesh. Stop dangling that kid there, dude.
is very good.
Thanks. And then my number 5 is going to be Casa Santa Stefano Sicilian Restaurant in Ybor City. We love Ybor City. Obviously, he works very, very close in Ybor City. And it's a beautiful restaurant. It's authentic Sicilian, so it's not Italian like you'd expect. And there are a lot of other good restaurants. All the Hyde Park Village, Armature, they all have good restaurants. I'm just picking for
I think it's funny that you picked 2 Columbia restaurants as your top 5, and
Yeah.
then neither of them was the Columbia.
No, yeah, I don't like the Columbia. Well, it's
Eulele and Santa Stefano are both Columbia
yeah,
restaurants.
it's good. So you guys are doing great then, by the way, Columbia Restaurant Group. But
Richard Gonsmart,
so
tip the hat to you, sir.
Richie. But Santa Stefano is we've been there many, many times, taking family, friends there. So we like Santa Stefano a lot. It's authentic Sicilian, not Italian. It's authentic Sicilian. Please,
You
know
can
the
have
difference.
dinner and then go upstairs on the balcony
Yeah,
and
that's
like
a little
overlook
area.
downtown and have
Or-
dessert and coffee.
Or you can just walk Ybor and then go on a balcony in Ybor and watch people run up and down the street half naked.
Not everybody has privy to that like
I know.
you have.
Well, get with the picture, guys. But anyway, that's my top 5 date restaurants in Tampa. Let me know if you guys agree with those. If you've never been to those and you have the time and money to do that, I really, really encourage you. Burns is on the pricier end, but the other ones are pretty standard. You could probably eat for $60-$70 for 2 people.
Probably not at Santa Stefano, but the other places, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, well, if you got
I mean,
lasagna
if you go and you get
pasta,
like
you
ravioli,
could.
it's like $15.
You
But
could
if
definitely
get like
do it.
fish, you're spending like $40 probably.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it however you want, but typically on dates, like the guy's getting some massive expensive thing, the girl gets like a salad and bread. Not that that's always the case, but especially like first, second, third,
And
fourth
then the
dates.
girl eats all the guy's food.
And then they get married.
Why
and
do y'all
then-
do that?
Yeah. Well, no.
no, I don't want any fries.
I'm the opposite. She gets her meal. I'm like, yo, give me
And
some
eat
of that.
all the fries.
You know. But anyway, that's my top 5. If you guys have any other restaurants that maybe I haven't been to or I should go to, please put them down. That's our top 5
Yeah, argue with Ryan.
best date restaurants. Yeah, I love to argue. I'll argue with you all day long. And, there's probably some that I really enjoyed that I missed.
But it's off the top. It's off the cuff.
off the
Don't
dome.
think about it. What is your gut?
All right, so
gut
let's
response?
do yours.
All right.
Top
My
5
gut response to these.
top 5 sunset spots in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
We'll include
So-
it'll be the Bay Area. We'll do that. So including
So
west and east.
the first one that comes to mind is like a nostalgic thing. Probably won't be like the most popular spot for people to go, but for me, if you go to the north part of Treasure Island, where the bridge to go to like where John's Pass is, literally the pass of John's Pass, then you can, when it's low tide, you can walk out to like the pillars that are supporting the bridge and stand on there, and you're just like by yourself, and you can hear the water crashing. You can hear the cars driving.
Who
over your
wants
head
to
in
go
the
to a
sunset.
beautiful sunset spot by themselves?
This is just my experience. You asked me. And like we would go there.
All these couples just watch date restaurants. They're like, wow, these guys really know. And then you're like, this is such a great sunset spot to go by yourself and just enjoy being
Yeah,
away.
sometimes you just want to get away and be by yourself and not have to do anything and just sit there and think and look at the sun.
Sounds
and
like
it's
a
beautiful.
vacation. That'll be another video. All right, number 2.
We got into an argument yesterday about vacation and travel and them being.
Well, we could
different.
do a whole
we'll
video
do a
on
different
it.
thing.
We'll do
on
a
it.
different
It'll be
thing on
wild. Josie's over here doing backflips. She's insane.
She's 6.5 months old and she's perfect and she loves to do gymnastics currently.
All right. The second thing that I think about is at Rocky Point.
That's a good one.
Like where if you take the Courtney Campbell Causeway, but then don't go to Clearwater, and then you stop, and there's like a beach on the south side of the Courtney Campbell Causeway, and you can just park there, and then find your own little spot.
Under a tree.
Sometimes, and then just hang out there and watch it. And then if you want to go over to the whatever tiki hut restaurant they have there, then you can do that.
That's a cool place, man.
I've never been. It
What
looks.
you can't.
I'll tell you this. Like
You've driven past it a lot, though.
at least 1,000 times.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can't say it's a top 5. You've never even been. But
No, but the beach I've gone
the
to
tiki
I've gone
place
to
you've
the
never
beach.
been.
Yeah, the tiki place I've never been.
Yeah, no, obviously not. I don't need another fake hula girl in my life.
It looks. I don't know because I've never been, but it looks like the bad touristy spot.
It does, right? People they're like, "Oh, we're here from Chicago. We just looked up
Everybody in
where to
that
get a drink
restaurant,
on the beach."
if you go to that restaurant, you will be the only local besides the people that work there.
Fact.
Is what it looks like.
Well, because nobody's paying
I
$9
could be
for
wrong.
a drink. You know
It
what I
could be
mean?
the
Like,
spot. I've just never gone, but that's what it looks like.
So what's
All
number
right.
3?
Number 3, and not like number. I'm just going off the cuff what I think. So not in any particular order, but the next spot is, I don't know the name of the park, but it's the park on the south side of Davis Island.
Yeah, the
like,
one near the airport.
Right next to the airport.
Yeah.
Like right there. So there's like a couple different places, but like the southwest part of the island, west of the airport.
Is that
there's
the
like
dog park?
It could
I know
be.
there's a dog park down there.
There's a dog park, but then there's like an open field
Yeah, that's
on the
what
water
yeah,
with
that-
like rocks and stuff around the border.
That's a
of
dog park. That's still the dog park.
That.
Yeah. It's
And you
lit.
go with whoever you're there with, and then you sit on the
Now-
ledge.
Now you're with people. You're not by yourself.
Yeah, this is. I mean, you could go here by yourself. I would still go here by myself. I love Davis Island. Once a month, I just go drive around it. And
That's
then
because you're
look.
gonna have a house there.
I will, yeah, and I like it a lot. But like the ledge on the south side of the island, and you can sit there, and then you can watch like boats go by, and there are people like kayaking going by, and then there's the sunset.
Can I put in
It's
a
pretty lit.
non-Tampa one that is a memory for us?
Yeah.
Boston, Massachusetts, overlooking that lake when all the sailboats were on the lake.
It's a river.
And the sun, or the river,
Charles River.
and Charles River, and this like with Boston in the background and like all the old stuff, and then all the boats, and then we're walking across, and the sun was. Oh my!
Yeah, that was incredible.
That was a top 20 lifetime sunset moment for me. But anyway, if you're
All
in
right.
Boston,
Yeah. All right, the fourth thing that I think of, and I think there's a name for this spot. I just can't think of it. This is a little bit further away, but everybody will talk about Anna Maria Island. And when they talk about Anna Maria Island, they're really referring to Holmes Beach at Anna Maria
or
Island,
Bean Point,
like right where you go to it. Is that what it's called? Because then like
the top of it,
the top of it.
it's
That's
called
what I'm-
Bean Point.
Bean Point. Because then what you do is most people don't go there. They go to Holmes Beach.
Right.
But then you go north when you get to Anna Maria Island. You park at somebody's house and pray that your car doesn't get towed, and then you go walk out there to the point, and then it's lit.
The praying is really important because they've gotten crazy.
Oh yeah,
There's signs like
tow
every
trucks on
4
standby.
feet. Like,
Don't do that. Don't go park in people's yards. Never mind.
no, don't do that. But you can park actually down near Harry's restaurant, and then get something to eat, and then walk to the beach from there if you're young and spry. But the signs aren't
I've
like
eaten at
4 feet
Harry's
apart.
before.
But there's a lot of signs. I like Harry's. The mahi tacos. I like them.
And then, honestly, this is the fifth thing that I thought about. I thought about at the same time, I thought about like the pier in Clearwater, but I like more is the Skyway Fishing Pier from there because you're fishing while watching the sunset.
You know a spot that I think it's a sunrise spot because it's
Ballast Point is the
yes.
sunrise spot.
Oh my!
See, Ballast Point,
Ballast
out
Point
of all
Park?
these, out of the whole list, I like Ballast Point the most, but that's a sunrise spot.
Maybe we could do a.
There's
sunrise.
also, what is it called? It's like, it's southwest of McDill. What's it called? Not Honeymoon Island, like not
Oh, you're right. It's something.
something like that. But it's not an island. But the southwest very tip of like South Tampa where it goes down, that would be like my honorable mention, just because, like I've only ever seen that like in a couple seconds, like boom, in and out. The other places I've had like experiences with it. Like, that's why who's gonna pick the
Yeah.
Skyway Fishing Pier as their sunset spot? But you're fishing,
Yeah,
you're by
that's
yourself, it's lit,
personal, yeah.
and you're watching the sunset, and then you stay up all night and fish right afterwards.
So that is our.
Top 5 sunset locations in the Bay Area.
So
For
now,
me.
Another new segment we're going to do here. This is what we're going to close this morning's Saturday coffee break with is
Coffee break. Also, you know what my favorite person is? The person that's controlling about other people's coffee. So like that person that's like, if you put milk in your coffee, you stink. I love that guy because he believes in something and he's shouting it from the mountaintops. And if you do it any other way besides that, then you're wrong. He's so passionate about only having a pour over coffee.
That's me.
Right, but I'll have like straight
Anyway.
espresso. Then like this is a cafe con leche.
Frou latte.
Then I'll totally
Kuzma.
have a cappuccino and then an affogato. But some people are like, you can only have a pour over. That guy, some people hate him. I love him.
Yeah, commitment. We respect, even if it's wrong commitment. At least you're committed. You know what I mean? It's more than 90% of people in this country. So
Go for it. All right, trivia. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I want you to go first. So this is
As
our.
in answering or asking?
You can ask me first. This is
All right.
our another new segment. We're gonna ask each other some trivia questions about Tampa sports, and I think I'm not gonna do as well as Jared is on this,
Well-
but we'll see.
Because of your history, I took it easy on you. So I think that you might be okay. Or that could be a really bad thing. If you do bad with these questions and they're easy questions, then I'm sorry.
All right, let's
So-
fire your first shot.
I'm going to ask you three, one from each of the three main sports.
Let me focus.
All right. Who was the first player to be inducted in the Hall of Fame as a Buccaneer? Would you like multiple choice?
I need multiple choice.
All right. A is Mike Allstott. B is Derek Brooks. C is John Lynch. And D is Leroy Selman.
I'm gonna go with Leroy Selman. Final answer.
That's correct.
Ding,
That's an
ding,
easy
ding.
one.
You know-
Everybody knows a Selman.
Yeah, I got it because the Selman Expressway.
And Leroy Selman's restaurant, R.I.P.
Is he dead?
Leroy is dead, I believe. If you're not, I'm really sorry, but I think Leroy Selman's dead. But they used to have a restaurant.
Trivia.
Like where?
Is Leroy Selman dead?
That's awful.
Can we get an answer?
You know, like the closest that you would have knowledge of is, you know where, gosh, I don't even like the restaurant, so I can't think of it. What's the place next to the Steak and Shake on Causeway that's like, you can get wings and stuff from?
Glory days.
Glory Days. That place stinks. Sorry, Glory Days. But that used to be a Leroy Selman's, and Leroy
I didn't
Selman's
think it
was
was
lit.
that bad.
Leroy Selman's is over. There used to be one right next to like the Buck Stadium, where I think there's an Outback now.
Okay, so I'm
they're
one
both
for
lit.
one.
You're 1 for 1.
You ready for? You want to go back and forth?
Let's do back and forth.
All right. What year did
Gosh.
construction start on Amalie Arena?
Do I have options, or I have to go off the cuff?
It was in the 90s.
Okay. So the question is, what year was the Ice Palace built?
No, the question is, what year did construction start on the Ice Palace?
Start.
I'll give you a hint. It was.
Don't give me
was-
a hint. I'm going to go and I'm going to reason through it. So they started in 92, but they didn't play there in 92. So I'm going to go with that they started construction in 94 and finished in 96 or 7.
That is correct.
Bang.
They started construction in 1994. They finished in March of 1996.
Let's go. All right.
Man, guys, this guy, you know what I mean? When he doesn't know, he knows. He said, let me think about it for a minute. They went in this, and then they went to coffee, and then you know what? It's 94. I don't know why I went like Boston,
right.
New York.
Speaking of the Lightning,
Uh-oh.
who was the first Lightning player to score 3 hat tricks in a single season? Was it A?
Don't give me options.
All right.
Is it someone I would know?
Maybe he was the first to score 3 hat tricks in a single season.
All right, give me options.
All right.
I if it's one of, I want to say it's either St. Louis or Le Cavier, but are they
All
even
right.
options?
A, Vinny LeCavalier.
Mm-hmm.
B, Wendell Clark. C, Steven Stamkos. Or D, Marty St. Louis.
Okay, well, I already did the 50-50. I already narrowed it down. It's either St. Louis
You said 2 of these before I
or
read them off.
Le Cavier. I don't actually know who played earlier as far as time-wise. I know that they were like 4 years apart in their retirement. So I'm going to go Le Cavier, final answer.
The answer is Wendell Clark.
I don't even know who Wendell Clark is.
It was a trick question.
Is he?
Kind of, because I set you up with knowing that you didn't know who that was.
I should have known that. I didn't know this was like Trick Your Best Friend Saturday mornings. Hey, Jared.
Had a little fun with question 2.
What hat are you wearing? I'm just kidding.
I forgot. It's a race hat.
You're a dork. All right.
Yours is too. It's just an Italian race hat.
Next question. There is a bonus question here, so this is question 2 and 3.
Okay.
What year did Coop become coach of the Lightning?
$2014. No, 2013.
That is correct.
Bang.
Next year will be his 10-year anniversary with
Let's
coaching
go.
the Lightning. Bonus question.
Bonus question.
Which coach was he? The 8th, the 9th, the 10th, or the 7th?
I don't freaking know, man. 8th, 9th, 10th, or 7th? Eighth.
He is the 9th coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. You missed your bonus points there, bud.
All right. Your final question for trivia of the day
So this is a Rays question.
This is a Rays question. Who was the first Tampa Bay Ray to hit more than 40 home runs in a single season? You want options?
Yes.
Evan Longoria, Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs, final answer.
I haven't read the other 2 answers.
I don't need the other 2.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, it's wrong.
You're lying.
It's Carlos Pena.
Is that the guy you told me you knew his dad?
No, that's the guy that I said growing up he was my favorite player because he was a first baseman and I played first base.
Well, there's our trivia.
Carlos
Shows you-
Pena is briefly mentioned in the movie Moneyball.
It's hard. Oh, that's I don't know if I've seen it.
The A's traded him.
The thing is, for me, this Tampa Bay Sports Trivia is fun because I just came to Tampa 5 years ago. So you asked me
So
a
it's
question.
like a learning process.
Right. You asked me, like, who was the first African-American golfer to win 3 major championships?
I think a lot of
The
people
whole
know that.
world knows the answer,
Yeah.
and I'm a part of that world. But how many people have met him and been pushed by him?
You
Just me.
might be one of the only people that, like, he was your idol superhero, and then you meet him, and then he pushes you. That's like,
Yeah.
that's a one-of-a-kind story.
That's one of it. So I was at the Dubai Classic
I
tournament.
mean, we love you, Tiger, but, you know, when Ryan was a little kid, you were...
He loves you. He loves you. I need a written apology. But
Or just like your golf clubs.
no, I don't want your golf clubs. I'm not a Nike guy.
All right.
I was at the Dubai
Send him
Classic.
some lefty golf clubs and I'll use them.
Send me. I was at the Dubai Classic golf tournament, and it was a great day. There was not a lot of people there, so I got to meet a lot of the players. Met Sergio Garcia. He's my favorite golfer to this day, which is funny because everyone always talks about how angry he played. He would break clubs and throw clubs and blah, blah, blah.
That's what you do now.
That's not even true, guys. I just played the other day, shot a 97, and was totally calm. I mean, I had fun the whole time. So, well, not the whole time. I had fun a lot of the time. I was like 30 feet.
You should preface that, like, this wasn't at, like, Bloomingdale or whatever.
No, this
Like
was
an
at
easy
Lake
course.
Javita. It's a really, I'd say it's
It's a tougher
a
course.
medium grade course. It's like $90 tee time, and or green fee for all you golf wizards. And shot a 97, was frustrated, but really we played the last 3 holes in competition that my buddy and I were playing. And so he double bogeys 16, I par 16, so I'm up 2 or I'm down 2. And so going into 17, it's a par 4. It's slightly a dogleg right, so it's a shorter hole. So it was about 310 yards for me.
Oh, you went for it, didn't you?
So I went for it, and I ended up like 30 feet from the hole with an easy chip. So it was supposed to be, that's my drive. So this is an easy bird.
I'm surprised if it's dogleg right. I'm surprised you didn't hit it into the trees.
We have a moment of silence for the dumbest comment. in the
Moment of
history the
silence
boat
for
parade.
Ryan's golf game.
Anyway, so I'm looking at an easy birdie, but, you know, I've chipped in before. So I'm like, well, this is going to be great. Anyway, well, he then is in the trees. I mean, he's like in the trees, crappy shot, lucky if he touches the green on his second shot. And from like 90, maybe 80 yards, puts it straight in the hole.
Dunked it.
And I ended up bogeying that hole because the pressure shift just and that's what the Lightning's about to do the Rangers. But the pressure shift, the pss, for me, and then in 18 I was cooked. It's a dogleg left, water all on the left side. I hit my drive perfect, but it was slightly on the left side, and we couldn't find my ball. It wasn't in the water, but it was in the high grass right on the water. I couldn't find it, so then I had to drop, and then from there you just fall to pieces. But anyway,
that's
so
golf.
Sergio's my favorite though, because when I met him in Dubai, he would come off the tee box to come and give me a hug. True story. I think he.
That's the most you thing I've ever heard.
He hugged me 2 times, and he greeted me another time.
This guy gave me attention when I was rejected by my hero, and then now he's my favorite.
Well, that was that day, because I think it was at the turn. It was Tiger Woods at 9.
Tell me that's not the most you thing.
It's the most me thing, baby. That's me. That's my story. And maybe Sergio will see this, and he probably won't remember, but it actually changed. I mean, it changed my life, and that I don't want to be all like that. But I mean, Tiger I probably never would have played golf again if it wasn't for Sergio Garcia. I was probably 12.
When Ryan was 12, a 30-year-old man gave him a hug, and it changed. It was the best thing of his life.
That's right. I'm not recommending 30-year-old men go find young boys to hug. I'm just saying it changed my life, because at the turn, 9 comes. Listen, he's winning by like 11 strokes. 11 strokes. He's winning by 11. He's not just 11 under. He's like winning by 11 strokes. He's like 14 under. And the next doofus is at like 3 under, you know? And this is like the second day or third day of the tournament or whatever. It may have been the closing day. No, I think it was the third day.
It was one of the 4 days of the golf tournament.
I think it was day 3 of the 4. Anyway, he comes at the turn around 9. Maybe it was 18, because I think he was walking to.
It might have been one of the 18 holes on the golf course.
I think it was 18, because I think he went to the clubhouse. But anyway, he comes out, walks off the green, and comes out, and a bunch of maybe like 20 people, right? So you think about, have I been to a golf tournament with you?
No.
So at golf tournaments in America, like at the Valspar or something, or if you go to
when's the Valspar next?
It just happened.
Gosh.
But the Bay Hill tournament or something like that, there will literally be like, I don't know, 600 to 1,000 people waiting to get signatures from
seen golf on TV
from loser golfers, not even from Tiger Woods. So I'm sitting there, Tiger Woods is there, and there's like 20 people waiting to get an autograph. Not a lot of people fly to Dubai to watch a golf tournament. So I'm sitting there.
Don't know why.
My dad's there, and I'm there, and I'm like, been waiting my whole life for this moment to meet Tiger Woods. He's my hero, and I love golf. Been playing golf for a long time. I'm like, Tiger was my guy. Like, buy me a Tiger Woods shirt. He's my guy.
Tiger Woods shirt is a red Nike polo.
Sheesh. Okay, so then it was. Anyway, so he comes out, walking off, and he's right there. And so I like lean over and I put my arm out and I like lean over with my thing so he can sign it. And it was a hat that a bunch of other guys signed and whatever. And so I'm leaning over into the thing, and he just like puts his shoulder down and like plows through my arm, and like, I'm like, bro, you're winning by 11 strokes. The least you could do is just say, hey, kid, not yet. I'll see you on, something. You know what I mean? Anyway, just whatever. Plows through me, whatever. And my dad literally almost jumped over the guardrail and beat Tiger Woods to death. That was like almost my dad's only assault ever in his life was that day with Tiger Woods. He got so upset. He still doesn't like Tiger.
He probably was upset, but he probably didn't almost beat him to death.
No, because you couldn't beat Tiger Woods.
You're in Dubai. I don't want to know what they will do to you over there.
Off with his head. But anyway, and then after that, I think it must have been 9 then. But anyway, Sergio was super nice to me, and I saw Ernie Els in his underwear in the locker room because I found a locker room pass on the ground, and so I went in. I'm like a 12-year-old kid, and I'm like
12-year-old kid gets hugged by grown men and sees old men in their underwear in the locker room.
It was a life-changing experience, But anyway, so the point is we love golf too, but there's nothing to talk about there currently. But
are there any golfers from the Bay Area?
We're gonna do some research and see if we need to show these guys some love. I love, like, I don't know, Needham is great.
And I just like Phil Mickelson.
Oh, Phil's like my favorite. I just saw him at the Bay Hill a while back and told him Jesus loved him, and he signed a hat for Reagan, actually, for a friend's son of mine, and he acknowledged me, which is interesting. He's going down the line and he's like ignoring people. I'm like, hey, Phil, you sign this for my nephew? And I'm like, hey, Jesus loves you, man. And he was like, thanks, whatever. And then whatever. So
feels great with the kids.
it feels so, he's an example, in my opinion, of athletes, because to perform at his level, like,
I tried to say the same thing that you
know.
did with BJ Upton, who used to play center field for the Rays. I also did something that you probably shouldn't do, and don't do this, but I climbed to the top of the fence for the players' parking lot. But it was work. I got something from Carl Crawford and Carlos Pena.
Jeez, bro.
BJ Upton looked at me, and I was like, "You're my little brother's favorite player. Please sign this." And he looked at me and didn't say anything and looked away. So I said, "All right,
bye, boy. I'm gonna be, whoever. I'm becoming a Yankees fan." No, I'm kidding.
No,
Never.
But this is what we wanted to do on Saturdays, just more casual, and then have some different segments to go through and talk about what's going on in some other areas. We have some other ideas for different segments. We still don't know what we're going to call it, but we'll figure it out.
Let us know in the comments if you think
if you have
Saturday
if you have
morning
the name,
Sauce Master.
Please don't call it that. But if you have the idea, would be really cool. So we thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
If someone comments sipping on the Selman, I'm going to fall over in my chair.
That was a proposed idea that I kind of like.
Sipping on the Selman? That sounds like a bad rap song. Sounds like a Lil Wayne's life anthem. Sorry, he almost died. That's not even funny. I'm sorry, Wheezy.
I said off Selman.
Oh, sipping off Selman. So it's like flipping off Selman, but sipping off Selman.
We do have a Broadway, but
We are actually off Broadway.
7th Avenue is Broadway. If you didn't know that in Tampa.
If you didn't know that. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. And we'll see you guys this week.
Sipping on 7th? We'll see you next time.
You know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus. He the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace. You know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me